Yeah, good evening. Yesterday we discussed about few layout designs, how to create them. I asked you to try one example. Everyone tried it. I have seen your examples that you posted in classroom. Everyone able to do it easily. There is no confusion, right? Right. Already I told you, remember, CSS is a very big concept. You are not learning entire CSS immediately. So gradually you will learn options step by step. You will able to understand and handle all these options. So no need to worry about other designs and layouts, which you will gradually learn step by step learn up to what we are discussing. If you are able to practice exercises, if you are able to do, that's enough. Later we will do more complex things. So up to now what we learned in HTML is about the body section and body section related elements. What are the elements in body section, how to present them, we designed that, how to create contents and how to present. Actually, one more concept I will show you. In the previous session we discussed about how to design, how we can create grid, display grid. I told you, arranging information into rows and columns. Actually, we have another concept, columns. Column columns styles. Columns can be defined by using two options. One, we can do that by using display as grid. There is another option, we can use columns. What is difference between these two is, display grid generally it designs the columns and every column is independent. Every column is independent. That means, for example, see, suppose this is the page. Yesterday we learned that you can divide into columns. Suppose I divided into 3 columns. Now what happens is, this height of the container is some 500 pixels height is there. Now you started something inside this column. You started presenting something inside this column. After reaching maximum height, what will happen if I continue? If I continue, it will continue outside. That means if you are trying to present anything in one column, it will be only for that column. Anything outside will continue outside. It will go outside. It will go outside, but it will stay in this column only. This is when you are designing by using what? Display grid. By using display grid, if you are dividing columns, every column independent, and the contents of one column are for only that column. They will not come to next column. They will not come to next column. They will continue here only. If you are typing more, it will go outside. So I will show you. See. So because these type of designs are very common, so you have to know that. Let's go to the project, and in this, let's create a page. I will add a new page called some columns.html, and here I am designing doc type HTML head and title columns. And in the body section, so we have a div. This is the main container. For this, I told you that we use an ID The ID is some container. Inside this, I am giving 3 divs. That means how many columns our intention is 3. 3 columns we want to divide. And see what we are doing here. So we are writing style and hash container display. Display what? Grid. What we have to do? Grid template columns. Grid template columns. So I given as 3 fractions, some 6 fractions, and 3 fractions like this. Okay, it divides. For this container, I'm just giving a border also so that you can see 2 pixel solid red, and I will give height for container as 400 pixels. Suppose like this I given. Usually it looks like this. So it will look like this. Now into this is column 1 and this is column 2 and this is column 3. We have 3 columns here, column 1, 2 and 3. Now what I am doing is I am adding more content in this. I will copy. I will do one thing. I will copy some paragraph and I will paste some paragraph here. I will paste some paragraph here. Some paragraph I am pasting, lot of paragraph. Now you see that it will go outside. It will go outside. It will continue here. That means it will go outside this border. But it will never come to next column. It will never come to next column. That means contents of one column will not disturb the contents in another column. This is when you are using display grid. Through grid, you can divide columns, but that column will have this kind of behavior. This is the behavior. Okay. Now we can divide by using columns also. So what is the meaning here? So display grid. So every column is individual and the contents of one column will not span to next column. That means contents of one column will not span to next column. Every column is individual. That is display grid. But what is the advantage of columns? The advantage of columns is it is used for continuous columns. That means what happens is the content will span to next column. The content will span to next column. So when it fits the previous, that means when it fits the previous, automatically it will span to the next column. That is columns concept. So you have to decide which one to use, because both will look like columns only. Both will look like columns. Observe carefully now. I am doing this way. So let's remove this. Here observe, remove this display grid and grid template columns. Okay, this is the content. How many columns I want to divide? We want to divide into 4 columns or 3 columns. Then you can simply write columns. So columns. How many columns? So you have to just put number 3. Just 3. That means how many columns you want, you have to put the number 3. Then you can see that it divides into 3 columns. And see what happened for the content. Actually, the content in first column, once it finished, it continues to the second. That continues to the third. That means it will not come outside. It will not come outside. Where you can see such kind of content, newspapers. eh? When you are designing newspaper like content, they are also columns, but not grid. They are not display grid, because in that newspaper, the content of left column will continue to the right, continue to the right. So if you want every column independent, so that the contents of one column will not disturb another column, then better you can go with display grid. So if you want to continuous design columns, continuous columns, one column continue to another, another to another, then better you go with columns, right? This is another option. So how to design this? Simple. Syntactically, we have a container. In the container, so we have to define like this: columns. And how many columns? 3. That's it. We can just define the number. Earlier, how to you do that display grid? How to do that? We do that by using container. And we have to write like this. We have to use display what? Grid. Additionally, what we have to write? Grid template columns. Grid template columns. And here you have to define. Later you will learn 2 fractions, 10 fractions, like that. Later you will learn how to put lines between columns, how to adjust width of every column. So many things will be there. But I am just initially giving you the difference between the grid and columns. What is difference between grid and columns? Depending on the type of content you are going to present, right? This kind of information you will regularly see. This kind of information you will regularly see while working with newspapers like contents and all. You will see this kind of information. Okay, this is just one idea to make you understand that how we can display information in columns, right? That is fine. Now you learnt all general basic layouts, how to design and how to configure. Now another important you need to know here is, in yesterday's layout we learned in yesterday's layout we learned how to keep the content one below another. Means we designed a navigation one below another, how to define the content. We will see today some more designs, some more layouts which are very common, right? So I will give here an example: vertical and horizontal navigations, which are very common designs. We will see how to design vertical and horizontal navigations, how to create vertical navigation, horizontal navigation. So see, now I hope you can tell now about this. Let's go and design a navigation here. How to create a navigation already we know. We can just use a nav. And inside the nav we can define menu, but menu is optional. Generally we use menu if there are multiple categories. If there are no multiple categories, directly in navigation you can put some options. Directly in navigation you can put some options. So here I will put here directly div. Now here I am writing home, another div. This is about, another div like contact. Like this I am designing 3 options. Now how to design this into a proper vertical navigation already we know. Yesterday we learned what we have to do. Now in the nav space div, wherever div is there, we are giving the options: border as 2 pixel solid, some red color, background color as some red, so or say some color, and color, so say white. These all already I explained, right? And we will use padding. padding is how much? 5 pixel. And margin bottom, margin bottom, margin bottom we defined as suppose 20 pixel. And you can see all these will come in this way. And we will keep a width. So width is some 150 pixel. This will give a vertical navigation. This is vertical navigation. That means how you can keep the content one below another, one below another. Okay. See, after I will copy this example. This is an example for vertical navigation. Already we know. So yesterday we already designed this. I need to change this to horizontal navigation. Horizontal navigation. To change it to horizontal navigation, there are so many techniques. See, simple. If I want to change this to horizontal navigation, all these containers we need side by side. We need side by side to display all these containers side by side. We don't need to change it to span. Why we should not change it to span? Because if I change to span, side by side will come, because by default side by side, span is side by side, but should not change that. Why we should not change span? Because suppose when a person is watching the website, so on his mobile in a landscape, then it should come side by side. When he rotates to portrait, it should come one below another. You cannot change the element div to span, span to div. Then without changing the element, we have to change the orientation. We should not change the element. We have to change the orientation. This is very interesting part in designs. I will show you here. See, currently this should happen when anybody is watching the content on portrait mode. Portrait mode means, you know, the portrait mode. Portrait mode means, you see, I will open this on a browser, and let's open here. Now I will show here in a mobile. Okay, let's see, this is mobile. This is mobile. This is portrait mode. Now I will change this to landscape mode. I will change it to landscape mode. When I change this to landscape mode, rotate to landscape mode, you can see that in landscape mode also same. But in landscape mode, it should not be same. In landscape mode, it should not be same. It should display side by side. In landscape mode, it should display side by side. In portrait mode, it should display one below another. So it should display one below another. And in landscape mode, it should display side by side. But in both modes, it is showing same, right? It is showing same. See how to manage this. I will show you a technique here. That means the point how we can manage. First point, understood, this is vertical. How to keep horizontal is simple. We will go to the navigation now. In the navigation, directly to the navigation, in the navigation, these are all present side by side. So these all we want side by side. We can simply put here, we can generally simply write here, display as flex. We have written display grid. Now I am using display flex. Flex means flexible design. That means when I make display flex, you can see that content will be side by side. Content will be side by side. That means it will keep flexible design. That means it will be side by side. Or better option is you write like this now. So see now, observe carefully. Flex different, I will tell you here. Now in the now div, we can use every div inside the now, we can display as inline. Display as inline, you can see that they will be side by side. We can use display flex or display inline. What is difference? We are going to discuss. We are going to learn. But which one you recommend currently for this kind of alignment? Better always what you do, display, you keep it as flexible design. Now I will save this. You can see side by side, but after every div, this time right side margin should adjust. That right or left, that means what we have to do now. So now for here already above we given which margin we given, bottom. Instead of bottom margin we will give right margin, right 50 pixels. That means some space will come. That is horizontally displaying. For that what we have done, just we have used navigation display as flex. Display as flex, it will keep side by side. So why we are not designing with span for side by side? Because this should change according to my device and situation. If it should change according to device and situation, you cannot ask element to change. You cannot ask element to change. Element will be same, but its placement will be changing. Element will be same, but its appearance will be changing. So that means you cannot say that whenever user rotates the mobile into horizontal, again you go to code and change the div to span and span to div. It's impossible. It cannot be done. That means you have to write only one option that should change according to situation. That is the right way. Then we will see how to do that now. Now this is for which one? This is another example. This is for horizontal navigation. Two we have learned. One is vertical navigation. For vertical navigation we are using simple just margin bottom. Horizontal navigation, extra what we have to do, for navigation we have to put display as flex. If I keep display flex, all these divs inside navigation will be side by side. That is the reason we have to adjust the margin right or margin left. Margin right for every item side by side will be adjusted, then it is fine. Okay, now the question comes here is, this is responsive 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 navigation. Responsive navigation, that means responsive navigation means, so navigation bar must change its orientation, according to device screen. Understood? Navigation bar must change its orientation according to device screen. So how you will manage that? How you write that? Actually this is possible. You can define it by using css media queries. By using css media queries we can design that. By using css media queries we can create this concept. CSS media queries is a very big concept, but in that one small option is very simple. You can try. Let's see that. First point here. Observe carefully. Everywhere the div must be same. Everywhere div must be same. Space, I will remove this. See, that means horizontal or vertical navigation bar should be like this. Means navigation items must be like this. Horizontal or vertical, background color, foreground color, border, everything should be same. So I given this standard. Why? Because horizontally or vertically every item must have a border, every item must have a background, every item must have color white and something. Suppose I will give the color as black. Okay, now I can see the borders clearly. So like this I want every item should be like this, but its orientation should change according to device. So what we have to do, observe here. In the style I am writing here, at the net media. At the net media. Media is what? if media is screen, that means if he is watching on screen, media is screen, and we have to write orientation. Orientation is landscape. Landscape. That means if watching on screen and the orientation of screen is landscape, rotated, then what should happen? Navigation bar should display what? Flex. And one more thing should happen. Navigation bar should display flex. In navigation bar, every div, right? Every div margin right should be applied to some 30 pixels. Okay, this is one option you have defined. You have defined if orientation, see, if media is screen, that means if he is watching on screen and the orientation is landscape, then it will change like this. Observe carefully now. Here, currently, it is showing like this. Observe carefully now. I will go to the, because you have to not test here. You have to test in this location. Observe here in the mobile simulator. This is mobile. This is horizontal. This is which mode? Portrait mode. I will turn this device to change the orientation. When I change orientation, it should get horizontal. Understood? When I change the orientation, it should get into normal, vertical. On normal, portrait also you can write. On portrait, how it should be, you can write it, right? But no need to write, because if it is not landscape, it will be portrait. That means you can write portrait also. How to write? See, again we have to write. What is it? Media is screen, and what is that? Orientation is portrait. Portrait. If it is portrait, then what should happen? Now navigation should display one below another. That means we have to use nav display. We have to use block actually, because divs blocked means one below another, blocked contents one below another. And what we have to do, we have to define another option. What is it? Navigation div, every item margin, this time we should be what? Bottom margin should be 30 pixels, because they will be one below another. And observe carefully here. So this is how it display. This is portrait, and I rotate. This is landscape. On landscape, it will change different. On portrait, it will be different. You can test in ordinary browser also. This is your ordinary browser. You observe carefully. You resize the window. I'm resizing the window. I'm adjusting the width here. I'm adjusting the width. You see, it is not working. Why? Because this is not adjusting the width. Orientation. Orientation means what? Right click, open developer tools. In developer tools, you see we have to go to mobile simulator, mobile. And here see the orientation, you can observe. You adjust the width, according to that it will come. You adjust the width, it is fits into it. That means you can use landscape and portrait, you can test them here. But I showed you in a better screen, right? I showed you in real orientation how it works. Actually, if you are using, suppose, see, this is the page you are watching. So my laptop is a notebook. I can rotate it, and see, when I rotate it, that means it will change. It will change the orientation. If this is my portrait orientation, and I am changing my portrait orientation, again it will change. That means if you are really testing on your devices which can be rotated, right, then it will work directly. You don't need to use any debugger tools. That means if you are really testing on your screens which can be rotated, they support, they can work directly, they can define. This is one important option, how we can create navigations. I hope 3 options you understood. One is how to create horizontal navigation, how to create vertical navigation, and how to create navigation that changes according to device. Generally, syntactically, we write like this. What is that? At the net, media. Media is what? Screen. And what is it? Orientation. Orientation, you can give landscape, or you can give portrait. Portrait, landscape or portrait. Based on that, you can add the effects. You can add the effects that will change the navigation techniques. You cannot change div and span. Suppose every time I want side by side only, then you can use span. Every time I want one below another only, then I can use div. But if I want to change, then better always use divs and change them according to the CSS. With the help of CSS, change them. That is very important. So I will copy this example for your practice, right? This example I will paste here. This is responsive navigation. How you can define the navigation and configure with a responsive navigation. That is another part. I hope everyone clear. Understood? Right? 3 points I explained in this. What are those? Horizontal navigation, vertical navigation, and responsive navigation. That means it changes accordingly. Now, one more important today we will see here is while working with the designs, one more we will see is so adding icons to page. How we can add icons to page we will see today, because every day we have to use them. Because every day we have to use icons. So I will show today itself how we can add icons to the page. So many techniques will be there. As of now, you follow the current technique, what I am showing. Icons. Icons are nothing but, for example, you are seeing navigation bars. When you are seeing navigation bars, observe carefully here. Suppose we are designing navigation bar. Now in the navigation bar, suppose Inox movies I opened. You can see that in this navigation bar, you see this is navigation bar. Ordinary text is there. But observe here, right side, you can observe there is a social bar here, right? This is a social bar. And this social bar contains all these icons. That means how we get these icons. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, or home icon, phone icon, alerts icons. For example, you see websites like Flipkart. So Flipkart, and you see here, these are all icons. That means beside the text, the icon is present. Beside that, this is notification icon. This is some advertise icons. How you get such icons? Actually, some icons are free. You can use for free. Some icons people purchase. Because in real-time projects, when you are developing large-scale application for different business, for whatever business we are developing application, for that whatever icons are required, freely not available. You have to purchase. Generally, companies will purchase. They purchase icons and they will give you the registered icons link. You can use them and you can import. Free icons are enough for us. We can use free icons and we can define the free icons. We can configure the free icons. So free icon is enough. Free icon is enough. So how to add icons, I will show you now. How to use the icons and how we can design anything using icons. One simple concept we will see. What we will do is to add icons to the page and start using it. First step, what you have to do is download and install Bootstrap icons. Bootstrap icons. You download and install Bootstrap icons. Actually, so many types of icons will be there. Level by level, we will discuss about them. Bootstrap icons are very popular for icons. There are icons called font awesome icons. We can use font awesome. We can use Bootstrap icons because we are going to learn Bootstrap as a part of our content. We will better use Bootstrap icons, right? I will show you other icons also, how you can get the icons. As of now, you have to download and install Bootstrap icons so that you can use them in your page. How to install? I told you already, if you remembered, to install any library that is required for project, you have to go to terminal. Am I right? That means open terminal and switch to command prompt. Am I right? You have to switch to command prompt because terminal will be in PowerShell sometimes. You have to switch to command prompt and type the following command. What is the command you have to type? npm install bootstrap space icons hyphen icons. You have to run this command. Then what it will do is it will connect to the official website of Bootstrap, download the icons libraries, and they copy that. Actually, remember, all icons are kept in a css file, .css file. They will keep icons in a css file. That means now when you install Bootstrap icons, a css file will download. All the icons are kept in css file. And very important, what you have to do, you have to link the css file to web page. You have to link the css file to web page. I will show you all the process. We have to link the css file to web page. And very important is every icon every icon will have a class name. You have to apply by using class attribute. We have to apply by using class attribute. Every icon will have a class name. We have to apply by using class attribute. That means you have to write like span, or you can use div, any container, div or span. Here we have to use class. Class is equal to every icon have a class name. For example, Bootstrap icons will have bi and bi house like this. That is how we can access the icons. Now once you apply this class, that icon will be shown inside the div. It will be displayed inside the div. Let's try this first. One by one, step by step, I will show you. Observe carefully now. First step, go to your project, and in the project, open terminal. You know, we can open from terminal menu. Am I right? Terminal menu, new terminal. The terminal will come. This is our terminal. And in this terminal, already you know, right? This is the terminal we have. New terminal. I will close that tab actually. Okay, this is the terminal. Now what to do already we know. Here go to the terminal and switch to command prompt. Command prompt, this is the command prompt. And already we learned in this, we have to run the command npm install. What is it? Bootstrap hyphen icons. You have to install that. And use save as a flag to save this information in the package JSON. Already we have package JSON. It will update into the package JSON because all libraries information will be in package JSON file, and hit enter. That means now, remember, this is an online command. You need to connect with internet. Make sure that you are connected with internet, because it will connect to their official website, download from there and copy. Okay. Now observe carefully. Once it is installed successfully, that means use this save as a flag. Once it is installed successfully, observe here, installed successfully, in your project you will find a special folder. See, there is a folder added node modules. That means whatever extra libraries you download for your project, all the library files are present in a special folder called node modules. Because currently we are using node package manager, npm. Npm is node package manager. Whatever libraries it downloads, it will keep in this folder node modules. Open the node modules, you will see there is bootstrap icons. Open bootstrap icons folder, you see there is a font. Open that font folder, you will find say a css file called bootstrap icons.css. This file contains all the symbols. All icons are present in that file. That file we have to link to our page. This file we have to link to our page, then it will work. That means now let's see here. Let's see, once it is installed successfully, where is our page? I will keep in the public folder. I will add a new file, social.html. Okay. Now let's create a simple page here. So doc type HTML, head and title. Here I will give some social bar. Okay. And in the body section, I am creating nav. In the nav, I created one div and I created another div. So like this, I am creating some divs. In the divs, I don't want any message. I want only icons. I don't want any text. I want only icons. Okay. Like this, you can add any number of divs you want. Currently, it is empty. Nothing is there. Currently, it is empty. Nothing is there, empty. Now, what you have to do is you have to link that file. How to link external files? You remembered we linked a shortcut icon. So by using which tag? Link relation. This time it is not shortcut icon, style sheet. CSS files. So relation will be style sheet. Relation will be style sheet. Favorite icon, shortcut icon. For CSS files, style sheet. And what is the href? Href, you remembered href how to write? // come out of the current folder. In that we have a node modules, in that bootstrap icons, in that font, in that bootstrap icons.css. Okay. Now very important is, how do I know which icon, which class will come, right? Because you are new to this, then you have to search icons by yourself and you have to remember them and use them. Once you got experience, you can remember regularly used icon classes and use them. Otherwise, even you have experience, you can't remember all icons. You have to daily see and you have to apply. From where you will get it? See, that means you can get help about icons from get bootstrap, www.getbootstrap.com. Open this website. This is their official website. So open that website. So I will open that website. So www, yeah, getbootstrap.com. Getbootstrap.com. Okay, this is their official website. In that you see there is icons category. Go to icons category and you will see so many icons are present. These are all icons. And which icon you want to use? Which icon you want to use? These are all, so many icons are there. Which icon you want to use? What you can do is, suppose I want to use this some icon like alarm. Like I want to use that icon alarm, this alarm. You click on that icon. When you click on that icon, you can see that that icon class name will be shown to you here. This is class name. What is the class name? BI space. Remember, all these are important, including the spaces they give. BI space and BI alarm fill hyphen hyphen hyphen, right? That you have to apply. Now see, I'm writing like this now. So if you can see that, if you know the icons related information, you see here for the first div, I am applying. For the first div, I am applying here class. What is it? BI. I will give BI hyphen Facebook because I know that icon class name. So what you have seen, it is alarm fill. This is the icon you have seen, alarm fill. So you see that icon will come. That means you can see that icon comes here. That icon comes here. Like that, you can add icons into the page. But I want here social bar. I want BI Facebook. Okay. Second, I will give class BI and BI Twitter. So you can search, you can BI and BI, suppose LinkedIn, okay. And we have class, so BI, so BI Instagram, like this. So I'm giving these icons and you can see those icons will come here. That is the icons that we have designed. That means we have these icons here. Now, very important is appearance your wish. That means how you want to display them your wish, because already you know the icons here. You see, you have to write style extra now. What is the style? So we have to define nav. In the nav div, for every div, I will give margin bottom as 20 pixel or 10 pixels. That means there will be some space between them. And we can put some color. I will keep as dark cyan. Some color is there. That color will come for that. So that means we are designing those options and configuring. But I want it right side bottom corner. That is standard. Its position is fixed there. I want right side bottom corner. There it is fixed. You observed, so their website. So Inox Movies website. You see the social bar is right side corner, and observe carefully. Even I am scrolling my page, that bar stays there only. Even I scroll, it stays there only. Right? We can make that possible. That's simple only. So what we have to do now, this is the navigation bar. Now what we have to do is we need to remove this bar from there. To remove the navigation bar from there, so to remove the navigation bar, go to nav. For navigation bar, we have to give position fixed. Position fixed means lot of positions are there, right? You will learn one by one. I will tell you. Currently, position fixed means that element is removed from that location and it is fixed. Where to fix? You have to tell top, bottom, right, where to fix. I will put right as 10 pixels. Right 10 pixels, it will be fixed. Okay, see, it will be fixed right 10 pixels. Right 10 pixels, it will be fixed there. But bottom also, no? That means we want bottom. Bottom, how many pixels? Bottom also 10 pixels. That means from bottom 10 pixels. It will be here. I want little bit down. That means bottom 0 pixels. I can give like this. Then it will be exactly at the bottom. That's your wish, how you want to define. So that means now it is fixed there. Once put your information and see. That bar is fixed there. That bar is fixed at the right side corner. Put some information in that page. That means below this navigation, I am placing some paragraphs of information. Let's keep, I will copy and I will keep some paragraphs of information. Copy, just so that we can see scrolling. A lot of paragraphs of information I am keeping just for scrolling sake, right? And you see now, lot of information is present, and when I am scrolling, that bar is there only. It is fixed at that position, at that position. If you don't want the other content to be disturbed there, that means actually what we do for the navigation bar, you see, for the navigation bar, so we can put a background color some white. So background color I given as white, and I can, if I want, I can put a border as 1 pixel solid. Suppose I say dark cyan, same color I am giving, then it will get that like this. I want some padding, right? You know, padding is some 5 pixels, then it will give some padding like this. Padding like this, that means it will be fixed at that position there. That's your wish, how you want to display the content, that depends on your requirement. You see, this is the navigation bar. That means the social bar you kept there. I don't want border and all these, just I can remove this, just I can remove this. I don't want anything. Just only background white is there. It will be fine. No border, nothing, only background white is there. That's enough. That will be displayed here. So, but very important, if background white is there, some paragraph content is not visible, you can make background white transparent. Remember how to make background white transparent? RGBA. Remember this? Huh? So that means 255. It will give bright, 255 bright, 255 bright. This will be which color? Right. White color. Transparency 0.4. Transparent. We done Netflix page now. Background I showed you that, right? Now you see here, and you can see it is little transparent now, so that you can see the contents behind. You can see the content behind, so that it is not blocking the contents. Transparency your wish. You say 0.7, then it will be like this. Now it will be in this way, so that the contents behind are not completely blocked, so that we can see that. We can see that. So here our main concept is how we can design with icons. Now everywhere in HTML, whenever you are designing, you can use icons. You can use icons. And but for every icon, you have to, for every icon, you have to know the class names. If you miss the class names, not properly giving the class names, then it will not work. And important, to apply the class names, first you have to link this file. If there is a problem in linking this file, then those icons will not work. Those icons will not work, because icons depend on this CSS file only. Because already several people, while linking background images and all, they are facing problem with path. Right? They are keeping their file one place and photo another place. Wrong path they are giving. If you face that type of problem with this, here icons also will not work. Icons also will not work. So observe here what we have done. So how to get the icons? So I will give an option here. Installing Bootstrap icons ready now. So I will give you the basic summary here. Example I will give you here. What example I done? First, open terminal, and what we have to run? npm install bootstrap icons and save. Second, so you have to go to HTML file and link style sheet. Okay, how do we link that? I will just give that link code. Link relation equal to style sheet. The path is this. This is the style sheet you have to link. You have to link that. After linking the style sheet, now what you can do? You can apply icon to any container. Any container you can apply the icon. That means you can use a span. For that you have to use class bi as alarm, right? So like this I defined, or you can use a div. For that you can use a class. So for example, some bi alarm like this, or actually you can use combination of text and picture also. I will show you that. For example, so up to this is fine. I will put an example for you. I will copy this code. This what I designed. In this additionally, what you learned, very simple. So we have learned position. Position is what? Fixed. Position fixed means it fixes that item at that position. For that you need extra options. What we need? One is position fixed, another one top, another one left, another one right, another one you can give bottom. That means you have to tell top where, so bottom where, right where, left where, those points you have to tell. Then there it will be fixed. So that is the example I given here. This code I will paste. This is the sample code. This is the sample code. In this code you can keep navigation bar anywhere. You can keep the navigation bar anywhere. Only the point is, for this navigation bar you have to keep position as fixed. Position as fixed, and right 10, bottom 0. Right. Now I will show you that icons can be used in various ways. Icons with text, everything you can do. For example, let's see. Let's go to the design here. I will add one more file here. I will put in the public folder another file, navbar.html. Navbar.html. Let's design. Doc type HTML head. Okay, title I will say navbar. And here I am designing a link. Relation is equal to style sheet. Careful, single word, no spaces, nothing. It should be exactly matching. If you miss this capitalizations, or if you miss the spaces, spellings, it will not work. Even your path is correct, relation is wrong, it will not work. Right? Href, and it is node modules. In that bootstrap icons, in that font, in that bootstrap icon.cs. Okay, now let's go to the body section. And in this, I am creating a nav. So in that, I am creating a nav. In the nav, I am creating a div. In this div, observe carefully. This is one div. In this div, I am using a span. In that span, what I am doing is I am applying a class as bi bell. I just given as bi bell. And here I will define beside that span, I'm using another span. In that I will give as notifications. Notifications. That means our intention is both icon and text side by side. We need to display that. That means we are using two spans here. And you can see it is going to display this. That means it is going to display the notifications, right? That means the icon is there and this text is there. Similarly, I will copy another. I will copy another. And here, suppose I am writing here, suppose some other option. So alerts, alerts. So I will put here as alarm, alarm fill. So that means you can see the alerts will be like this. Notifications, alerts. I'm just defining those options. For example, I will put another option as here YouTube. YouTube. So I will say here as videos, and here you see there is an option YouTube. That means we are configuring in that way. We are defining in that way. And very important is here one more option. You can add like that any number. Now you know how to design this now. Go to the style. In the style, we have nav, wherever navigation div is there. Div is there. For that, I'm just giving border. Border as so 2 pixels, some solid solid, some red color border I am giving, then it will be like this. And I will keep width as 150 pixels. So because contents are there, and I will give here border 1 pixel. Yeah. And here I am defining margin bottom as 20 pixels. That means some space will come, and we will put padding as 20 pixels, 5 pixel enough. Okay, that is padding. And we are giving here border border radius as suppose 20 pixels. Some curve will come, right? We can add all these options. Now I will put some background color, suppose light pink. That is the background color I defined for that. Now lot of other options are there. You can put different color for these icons, you can put different color for the text. How you can put, because both are present in different spans, that means what you can do is, if both are present in different span, how to access this span separately, how to access that span separately. For that you need to give an id na. Yesterday I told you ids you can give, right? Or I will give here id is icon. The same id we will give here, id is also icon. Here also id, what is it? Icon. For that I need to change the color. How to access? Hash icon. For icon, what is the color? Color, I am just defining some color. Suppose color as some red, like this I given, and the icon color will be red. So suppose background color, I will change this as some yellow. Background color yellow, it will be in this way, right? That means we are using icon color separate, text color separate we can give. For every text you can give one id. For that we can give a different option, right? We can increase the size increase is div size increase, it will increase. That means font size. Sometimes people ask how to increase icon size. Font size only. Font size we increase, icon size also increase. That means font size suppose 20 pixel, then you can see icon also increases. So font weight I given as bold. That means I said for icon I will give font weight as bold, then it will be icon is bold, right? But icons may not have such bold like effects much. Why? Because already icons have a special effect. This is generally how you can configure the contents. Now here one trick I will tell you here. This is like navigation bar with icons and all this. Generally we have one more option here. Observe carefully. People have an habit of giving only a effect like this. Observe carefully. The navigation bar divs, I am writing like this. Navigation bar div. For that color, actually you see background color is yellow. But see here, I am applying colon hover. Hover means when mouse pointer is over. This colon hover is a class. This class contains ready-made effect. So that means it indicates that when mouse is over, how it should behave. When mouse is over, I will do here background color, I will put black, and I will put color as white. That means now see what happens here. When mouse is over, it will display like this. That means when mouse is over, its appearance will be changing. Not only appearance changing, people have an habit like this. Actually, when mouse is over, then I want the font size. I want the font size to increase. Then you see now on mouse over, the font size will increase. Right? On mouse over, the font size will increase. That will increase. This you have seen in yesterday's design. Amazon, what they have done, back to top. When you move the mouse, its color was changing onto it. That is nothing but hover. That means when mouse is over, how to tell that you are currently here? We have to highlight them. Generally, we use this technique. What is that class we have to apply? Hover. That means in normal stage, it is having a color. Hover, how to apply the class? Colon, hover. When you say that, hover, it will display. And one interesting part here again, see, when mouse is hover, it is changing to black and changing its size. How much time it is taking to change? How much time it is taking to change? Within 1 second, it is changing. But I want to slowly change. Then what you can do is you can put another option here, transition. Transition, I will keep as 2 seconds. You can put seconds, in seconds, milliseconds, you can give. Better, I will give 2 seconds. Transition 2 seconds. You see now, when I move mouse, slowly its size will increase. That means it will not be immediate. The slowly size will increase. Slowly size will increase. Not only increasing, decreasing also should be slowly. That means the normal effect. Where is the normal effect? This is normal now. Here also, I will give transition. Transition 2 seconds. Now you see what will happen now. When I move this, slowly it will come and slowly it will go. That means it will not be fast in that, so that you can easily see which one previously visited, which one you are currently visiting, we can display that. If you don't give transition, the change will be immediate. If you give transition, it will be delayed. Slowly it will change the effect and give. For that, we have to use an option called what? Transition. Hover is very commonly used thing. That's the reason I explained. Actually, these are all CSS animations, right? So, but it is good to understand at this level itself. That's good, because if you can do this in HTML itself, now you can imagine what you can do in CSS, right? Once you start learning CSS, you can imagine what you can achieve, because you are doing this in HTML itself, right? If you are doing this in HTML itself, in CSS, you can do more complex designs, more complex animations, because already you are familiar with this. Okay. So initially, this is a simple concept of design. And here, what you have learned extra, I give an extra is nothing but another option is a mouse over effect, right? How to define mouse over effect? You can apply, you can apply by using which class? Hover class. That means I will give here an example. So that means I will first give syntax. Actually, the syntax is normal effects we have to define. Syntax is normal effect. That means a div, when it is normal, how it should appear, and a div when it is hover, how it should appear. Understood? This is normal, this is normal, and this is on mouse over. On mouse over. That example I will paste here. The example I will give here. This example I will copy. And in this, we are designing both text and icons. Both text and icons we are using here. So this is a simple concept of working with icons and designing different types of navigations. You have learned so many things today. This is enough for today. Okay. So you have learned how to create horizontal navigation, vertical navigation, navigation with icons, how to put social navigation bar, position fixed at a position, and you have seen responsive navigation that changes according to orientations and all. Now, after this, we will learn about headings, paragraphs, and other elements inside the body that we will see in next session. Tomorrow we will do that. Okay. Today you try all these examples what I showed you. Then tomorrow we will discuss other elements in the body section. Okay. Right. Clear? Everything is clear now? Right. Tomorrow we'll continue.